The internet has had a field day today at the expense of a San Francisco startup called Juicero. The reason? The company sells a $400 internet-connected smartphone app-controlled machine that can use up to 4 tons of force to squeeze out about 8 ounces of juice into a cup. The juice comes from plastic pouches that are full of cleaned and chopped up fruits and vegetables. And Bloomberg got a hold of a Juicero and squeezed one of the pouches with their own hands and found that the same amount of juice with about the same taste comes out. Which begs the question, what exactly does this $400 machine do? People are going nuts on the internet. It's pretty remarkable stuff. Juicero's CEO wrote a post on Medium today in the aftermath of all this, essentially begging customers not to squeeze the pouches with their own bare hands. The CEO, Jeff Dunn, also argued that the value of the Juicero and its $400 price tag comes in more than just the machine itself, since the company has what he calls a closed-loop food safety system that lets them deliver fresh, raw produce in the span of about 8 days, with each pack delivering a consistent combination of taste and nutrition. And this is fascinating to me. I don't have one of these juicers. I haven't spent $400 on one, but I'd really love to just get one of these pouches and try it out myself with my hands. But you can only buy the pouches if you've bought the machine. Which is just frustrating. So that we're seeing on screen right now is the pulp that comes out after the juice has been squeezed. They want you to throw that in the compost, and then you take the plastic pouch itself, and you can actually mail it back to them, and they'll recycle it for you, which is very nice. Props to Juicero for the recycling aspect. But what do you think about this, Megan?
I think it's hilarious, and it just is everything that's wrong with the internet right now. But admittedly, it does look like she's squeezing very hard. Like that, that could give you carpal tunnel or something eventually. And, the more I thought about this, and I gave this a lot of thought today, I mean, isn't that kind of what like a Keurig does? Like, and people go crazy over the Keurig. Like I have an AeroPress at home. You put the coffee in and you go psh, and you have to make that sound. Yeah. You use your own muscle. And I've had it for 3 years. And, I'm kind of done with it. Like
You're just over it.
Like, I don't know if I need to, I have one of the screens instead of like a little filter, and now it leaks a lot of places. And I just like threw up my hands, like I'm getting a coffee maker. I'm not going to get a Keurig, but I am going to get a coffee maker, which is basically the same thing. It's not $400. I'm going to get like I don't know. I'm not a coffee snob. So I'm going to get like the $20 coffee maker, not $400. So there's that. But I mean, we do a lot of things that we use machines to do a lot of things that we could do by ourselves.
That being said, a lot of the Keurigs aren't $400, right?
No.
I mean, they're a little bit more affordable than that. When the Juicero first launched last March, the machine, the press, was $700. So they actually had to knock that down. I'm glad you brought up the Keurig comparison, because on that comparison, basically being the Keurig of juice, they were able to raise money from Google Ventures, Kleiner Perkins, and Campbell's Soup. And reportedly, both Eve Behar and Johnny Ive had input on the design of the machine. With so many brilliant minds and so much money in the bank, it's kind of amazing that they never squeezed the pack themselves to see what would happen.
I'm sure they squeezed that pack.
Did they just assume no one was ever going to do that themselves? I mean, this just seems like the sort of problem that this company shouldn't be in.
Right.
If they would have just, Well,
that is a good point. Like, did they squeeze the pack themselves and think like, we're going to fool everyone? People are idiots. Or are they the idiots who didn't even think to squeeze it themselves? That is the big question that I want answered.
Who's the idiot here?
Yeah, who's the idiot?
Oh, if only, we need this clarity. Juicero, we need this clarity.